The sheltered Palátια Cove, located at the northeast coast of Saria Island, is a natural reserve of high aesthetic value. The breathtaking coastal topography extends below the sea surface, forming a unique underwater seascape worthy of exploration. The Underwater Trail of Palatia on Saria rewards the visitor with a showcase of the most typical Eastern Mediterranean marine ecosystems and rich biodiversity. Shallow rocky reef habitats are typical along the path of the underwater trail. Rocky surfaces exposed to the sunlight are occupied by tufts of photophilous algae, which provide food for herbivorous fish. Sessile invertebrates, such as sponges and tube worms, spend most of their life attached to the rocky substrate. In the shaded parts of the reef, which are formed in small crevices or under overhangs, a colorful seascape is created by sessile invertebrates, such as encrusting and massive sponges, bryozoans, and sea squirts. Coralline algae formations, preferring the dim light to direct sunlight exposure, complete the colorful scenery. Neptune seagrass, also known as Posidonia, is endemic in the Mediterranean Sea and provides home and shelter for a variety of marine organisms. A multitude of fish species can be observed above or among the leaves of the Posidonia patches, such as the ornate wrasse, sea breams, along with omnipresent schools of damselfish. Posidonia contributes to the defense against climate change through carbon sequestration, while also retaining a multitude of marine pollutants. Posidonia meadows are a protected habitat under the EU Habitats Directive. Shallow marine caves are plentiful along the underwater trail at Palátια. Caves are important hotspots for marine biodiversity, hosting an abundance of rare or protected species. Being a typical feature of the rocky Aegean coastline, each cave is distinguished by unique environmental traits as a result of its individual geomorphology. They may have one or more entrances and subdivisions, as well as be completely or partially submerged. The marine cave habitat is differentiated along a horizontal axis. Thus, the vivid seascape formed by red algae, sponges and corals dominating the entrance walls and ceiling gradually becomes less diverse and colorful as we move towards the darker interior. Nevertheless, the dark chambers of marine caves provide refuge to nocturnal or rare species, with preference towards darker habitats or greater depths. Marine caves in the island of Carpathos commonly provide shelter to the protected Mediterranean monk seal. It can often be found resting or nesting inside caves, though it usually tends to avoid the human presence and activities. The two characteristic rocky islets mark the easternmost limit of the Underwater Trail of Palatia on Saria Island. Their rocky slopes extend below the sea surface, creating an impressive underwater seascape, with spectacular vertical walls and sea canyons. A dense Posidonia seagrass meadow surrounds the islet's basal rocky formations, extending downwards to depths exceeding 20 meters. During your exploration along the underwater trail, any negative impact to the marine ecosystem should be avoided. Please refrain from collect organisms such as starfish or seashells, and avoid touching the seafloor with your hands or fins. However, do not hesitate to get close to the reef, the seagrass meadows, and the vegetation covering the rocky walls. Exciting surprises are often tiny-sized and hiding at plain sight. Be cautious when entering underwater caves. During your entry, make sure to control your buoyancy and avoid contact with the walls, the ceiling, and the seafloor sediment to minimize impact on living organisms, as well as for your own safety. Many species are delicate or fragile to the slightest touch. Enjoy your exploration of the Underwater Trail of Palatia on Saria Island.